And what a comfy FSU to lead off tonight's very exciting race here between Skelly and Matt7898, Bratwurst Buddies versus the perfect unadulterated gaming squad in almost all dungeons. 80 keys, that is the theme for this week. These guys need probably no introduction. Very, very decorated veterans of the community. Absolute incredible at this game, at keys, at rando. Ready to have a good time. I am with Wallkicks. He knows a thing or two about keys and dungeons and maybe a couple A's in there. Tracking for us is, of course, the one and only lovely Sammy. Wallkicks, how's it going?
Hello, Clearmouse. I'm ready for some keys. Did you mention that it is a nice, cozy MSU? Are you saying that we need to maybe do some cozy commentary?
Oh, that would actually be quite comfy. You know, I'm gonna bust out my blanket.
Is it time for me to bust out my relaxing ASMR voice?
Yeah. All right, I'm ready. You know, it's actually gonna be, you know, we're starting. Okay, you know, comfy, cool. 8:30, 8:40 p.m. You know, on the East Coast, right? So it's already, you know, probably bedtime for some people. You know, we're here, you know, for quite some time, right? So this is all dungeons with key sanity. Certainly would expect runners to take a good amount of time, but also, of course, this being Matt and Skelly, you know, I certainly would probably expect them to, you know, probably be a little bit on the faster side. Of course, that all being said, sometimes the sea can just be mean and cruel and not give them what we want, which is some speed, like boots. We're gonna hope that that's not the case tonight.
All right, so we appear to have some in chat wanting
my
ASMR voice. I hope you noticed that Matt, when he went to Link's house, got 300 rupees. That's pretty good. Also, we have a triple. There's also a vanilla sword. Mm-hmm. So, Clearmouse, are you gonna go do the front of escape right now?
Well, am I going to? I would actually love to just kind of chill out, lean back in my seat, maybe my bed at this point, and just kind of, you know, watch Matt go through the escape sequence, because he's a 124 runner, and with the sword, I think he knows exactly what to do in the front of escape.
I would hope so, Clearmouse. And he's also going to pick up some more bombs. Skelly, meanwhile, will also probably pick up some bombs. I can't do ASMR voice much longer. All right, well,
we only have what? We were only like a minute, you know, 20 in. Well, you might need us for like, I don't know, 90, 100 minutes, maybe, something like that.
It takes a little bit to get into the voice, and then like you have to be able to maintain it. And it's hard to do that sometimes.
So, okay,
sometimes you just need the voice.
Next week, when it's pilot spoiler week, when the races are much shorter, right? You know, maybe you know, this is gonna be practice, right, for the upcoming league weeks. Okay, we'll just go with that.
I mean, you know, that like what is it? Someone in chat's like late night radio host voice. For those who don't know, I do actually have a degree in broadcasting and have been on radio before. I don't do it anymore, but that is what I used to do.
Does this kind of count as radio, out of curiosity? You know, it's like they can't really see us, you know, but we're still talking.
Look, as long as people don't say I have a face for radio, we're all good. Because that is
actually one of the best statements.
But anyways, front of escape, not in logic without the small key. The first chest is, but the two checks that Matt is getting are not. Skelly, meanwhile, doing sort of the regular start that you would see that they're going to go to Kakariko.
Yeah. Actually, so what didn't I did see Matt pick up the big key to Hera. Poor Sammy, you know, a very, very diligent tracker, you know, already kind of marking for us. Skelly, meanwhile, picked up the big key to Turtle Rock in the Lost Woods drop down. I didn't actually quite catch what the map was in Sank, but I know it was something. Maybe we'll eventually see it, maybe not. Wallkicks, how do you feel about picking up maps?
I was gonna say, if you're asking me to tell you what map that is, you are gonna have a very bad time, because I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, we've seen many a time when, you know, it's like some people, you know, have like skippy modes, you know, especially when you try to come out of Lost Woods. I think that is you with maps. So.
Look, give me the opportunity to finish the dungeon, and I'm going to finish the dungeon.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, actually, so Wallkicks, you know, as I think we've kind of alluded to earlier, you, I feel like, may know a thing about, you know, a thing or two about keys, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it's, you know, in entrance, you know, or not. So, and especially, you know, I think you've also played a lot of AD keys. How does, like, you know, do you feel it's much different playing almost all dungeons, you know, versus AD?
Not particularly. I mean, I think the fact that it's almost 80, with the fact that, for those who don't know, I don't know if you, I don't recall if you said it, but our GT big key's on pedestal. Hence
That's
almost
very
all dungeons aspect of it. Aga 1 isn't actually required unless you need it for Darkwood Access or for the item on Lumberjack. But you have to do essentially all dungeons anyways because your GT big key is on pedestal, thus you need your pendant dungeons. I don't think it really changes too much about like what you're doing or how you route compared to just a regular 80 keys. So yeah, I think you kind of approach it the same.
Okay, I think that's very fair. And yeah, as you mentioned, okay, all right, you're right. That's an absolutely worthless map. You know what? I don't think it's worth resetting, but we definitely don't need that map. You know, it's not. I
still didn't see what it was, so it's fine.
Well, you know, so it was one of the 2 maps that it gives you no value whatsoever. It is actually GT, and you know what? I'm pretty sure we're not going to get any information about whether it's a crystal or a pendant. Even if we go into the dungeon, by the way. I'm just saying. I've never seen a C or P.
But what if it gives you how many checks are in a dungeon? I mean, I know that's absolutely not what it does, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's very useful. You know, there's like, so compasses, especially in keys mode, actually do tell you the checks or the, counts the number of items that you've picked up in the dungeon. More often than not, I think people for the most part probably don't notice it, but it is certainly very helpful. Speaking of helpful, we have a Moon Pearl and Race Game.
That is a helpful
I
item.
do feel like that is very useful. Skelly also picked up the lamp somewhere in Kakariko, I think, right? Chicken House?
that was Chicken House, so... Mm-hmm. I think the only things of value was that lamp. I think he picked up the big key that Matt just picked up, as well as I think a desert big key was in blind set.
Oh,
that was really about it.
Big key too.
Okay. Yeah, and a lamp. All right, I see what you're saying, Clear Mouse.
Oh yeah, all we need is a glove,
and
which we're gonna and a bow. Yes, which we're gonna both find in the front of desert. I believe.
Well, we need to get into desert first and foremost.
Oh right. Okay, so the book will be at Agina, and everything will just be on the path. Yes,
everything is just in the desert area.
Yeah,
I don't want to go to desert until I have the ability to 1, get into it, and 2, clear it. Oh wait, it's all just going to be there.
Yeah, alright. Well, Skelly... Okay, so telling you about a little bit of a scary situation. Okay, looks like Skelly is hopefully going to be in the clear. Bomb Mini Moldorm is always... Okay, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Everything's fine.
Everything's not fine.
Everything's fine. Nobody panic. Nobody...
we got
see, we're only picnicking, not panicking, okay? Skelly knew exactly what he was doing. We got a lot of big keys tonight. Oh, we got a couple pod keys as well. I actually really, okay.
Couple pod keys indeed.
Well, that is basically like a horizontal Hype Cave, basically. Like Hype Cave is normally vertical in terms of chest, but holy cow, like that was really loaded.
It took me a second, like, what is she talking about? Like horizontal, like we're talking direction here?
Yes, the chest, yeah, that's what like. And you know what? There's even like an NPC in Mini Moldorm Cave in the center, all right, and everything was kind of rotated. That's what I was going for.
All right, Skelly heading north, gonna be able to pick up their sword. That was the only thing over there. I mean, I'm assuming Skelly at this point is just thinking they'll pick up the magic, that the 2 magic pots and use the Cane of Samaria, not realizing, oh hey, I have a sword.
Oh yeah, and like the fact that they're kind of here on 0 bombs, which does make the clearing the front of escape a little bit sketchy. Like as you said, like they can actually just farm these pots if they really want to, because two pots will certainly not be enough to get you through escape. But now that we have a sword, something pretty permanent. Nobody can take that sword away from us.
Yeah, and Skelly also did the tree pull before coming into here, so that should reset, and this should be the bombs.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, especially. So I'm not actually sure if Skelly, I guess, runs maybe a lot of spoiler. Only mentioning that because I think in spoiler, like the resources management tends to get a bit more amplified, so people are much more aware of probably like tree pulls and bush crabs and all that stuff. But just even as a regular player, right? Especially in Skelly's situation, Mini Moldorms never have to cooperate with you. He got out of it. Luckily, he got all of the prizes out of it, but he did end up with unfortunately 0 bombs, right? So he's really looking for some resources here, and if he found some earlier, it's a really good opportunity to go back for it.
Yeah, and like the tier 1 triple is like the one that you know best, and so obviously if you know it's bombs, you have an easy ability to like, 1, if you're not on tier 1, you can get yourself on tier 1, and then 2, do the actual tier 1 triple.
Yeah, looks like also Matt. I'm not sure if he probably. It looks like he actually scouted race game. This is something. Yeah, pretty important. So okay,
Slightly.
Okay. Well, actually, so I'm wondering. So Matt, you're Matt, and you have 3 bombs. Do you go buy bombs, or do you just kind of hope that you can find some more bombs along the way? Type of thing?
I've got a sword. I'm not too concerned about buying bombs. Like 3 is enough to do South Shore because like you need 1 to get into Mini Moldorm Cave. You got the sword, so if necessary, you can just use your sword for Mini Moldorm Cave.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's such a see. This is why you probably are more experienced with keys. I was even thinking like Matt's gonna have kind of like a precarious situation, Mini Moldorm Cave, but you know what? Yeah, he has that sword. He doesn't have to do bomb Mini Moldorm because nobody wants to go do Mini Moldorm Cave with bombs or a hammer, or anything like basically doesn't let them. What is? Oh no, well, I don't know.
It looks like Matt doesn't want to do Mini Moldorm. Are we
no,
stuck?
Skelly!
Are we?
Oh my gosh,
oh
dude.
my! Okay, we're not stuck. I was like,
I might have started to panic and not picnic for Skelly.
Oh,
that's so bad. Okay,
I'm curious to know what happened there. Like, was he just that like?
I think probably he probably was stuck between like the 2 guards, and then maybe you could only get out like 1 pixel at a time. It's kind of like sometimes when you mirror on top of the running guy, like in
and you've got you have to like find a way to save and quit right there.
Yeah, or I guess maybe you can try and quote unquote wait it out if you try, if you move like 30, if you maybe do it like 60 more times or something like that, just move like 1 frame off. But yeah, Wait, did we find a dam by the way?
Did we find a dam? We did find a dam.
You know what? Did you know that the dam is vanilla wall caves?
What kind of bad entrance seed is this?
Yeah, it's a really a snoozer here. You say, but I guess maybe it fits the theme of what we were trying to do earlier for ASMR. Oh dear.
But yes, that was a hammer that we picked up at the dam. So very nice find. Although I still don't think we have any regular Dark World access. So Eastern area is probably where we're gonna find it.
Were my ears just perking up when you said Eastern?
I said Eastern area. I have out. Thank you.
Okay, fair. We are probably going to go visit Sahasrara, but to some efficiency, which again, I do give you some credit, because you probably do know a thing or two about keys. Especially in these runner situation, we have no movement. We actually have. Other than our D-pad, right? We got no food, no hook shot, no boots, like we don't have much else, right? So that if you're gonna make a trip over to the Eastern area, like you probably want to make it worth your while. So maybe that's why they're trying to like put it off, right? Until kind of like the very end.
Yeah. And to answer a question in chat, a pretty popular route is to kind of split up South Shore to go Mini Moldorm Cave into Icehard Cave, and then Dam into Agina's Cave. And so that's kind of why Skelly didn't do Dam first and didn't get their hammer. So doing it this way, he's going to knock out Agina's Cave. Meanwhile, Matt's route, which we show is the better of the 2 routes because that's a glove, means he's orphaning Agina's Cave.
Now, wall kicks. What if Skelly finds the other glove here at Agina? Whose route is better?
They're both bad. I don't mean that in like their routes aren't actually bad, but what I'm saying is they're both likely to essentially last locate the other glove.
Yes, I do absolutely agree with that. And we've seen it in many races before, especially in these kind of situations. Ice Rock Cave is always not quite like the catfish, right, of Light World, but it's probably on there, without the flute or anything like that. Nobody wants to go check Ice Rock Cave. Nobody wants to go check Agina. But if something important's there, well, yeah, you might end up last locating your Dark World access.
And Chap did bring up a good point, is that Skelly actually ran out of bombs. He used that last bomb in Mini Moldorm Cave, and I don't think there were any bombs there, so they couldn't do Ice Hard Cave.
Oh, right, and how ironic that Ice Rock Cave has the glove, and there's like a 50-50 rock right next to Ice Rock Cave. So, like in theory, you could maybe try and pick up, but you can't, right?
You can't because it's the glove that you need in there.
Yeah. Okay. So how about horizontal Mini Moldorm Cave, or vertical Mini Moldorm Cave? Yeah. Vertical Mini Moldorm Cave. This is also actual garbage. All right. Well, we had a lot of bit of cash for Matt's side. Yeah. But that's a very disappointing place. Yeah. I was actually thinking like maybe these guys also wanted to delay South Shore a little bit. Because so from Skelly's perspective, we don't have a glove. We know one is a show, but you know what? There's a fire rod. That's a pretty nice item to find.
And the map to Skullwoods and the book. That's going to be problematic for Skelly.
Yeah, are you very sad if you're Skelly right now?
Well, I don't think Skelly's feeling very sad right now, but I think Skelly will be sad once they find the glove after they inevitably do Desert. There's no way you're not assuming Desert has like you're assuming Desert has your glove almost at this point, I would think.
Yeah, and that's actually really, it is, yes, it is unfortunate, in fact, very unfortunate, because we actually have, like, with that fire rod especially, we actually have a begrudgingly very efficient weapon to go kill Moldorm with. We actually do have a couple magic pots as well. And, you know what? Okay, so Skelly still can find something pretty good here in Eastern Palace. I know that, there are some non-believers in this dungeon. Just ignore them. Their opinion means very little in this particular case.
This is a non-entrance seed. I'm much more okay with Eastern Palace in a non-entrance seed.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
I would still prefer to avoid it if I can, just because it's a little bit more out of the way. But you're much likelier to find some form of early progression here than in non-entrance, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Well, have you played this week out of curiosity, Kicks? Because I will be adamantly watching your Eastern Palace.
I was off this week. My team is already done.
Oh. Okay. Well. I look forward to seeing you in Cross Keys then. Oh my gosh. Alright, well, we have some pretty nice things here in the back of Escape as well. Actually, no, this is in Logic, right, with that glove? You definitely get back here. No Hyrule Castle small key needed. Okay, well, Matt certainly has another, pretty good set of directions to go. We can do mountain stuff. I think he has the lamp, I assume. I assume he has the lamp from Kakariko.
He should have the lamp, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well then, mountain's completely in Logic for him, and of course he has the hook shot, so... Oh, Matt found the Hyrule Castle small key? Okay, I must have just missed it.
Fair enough. I would believe that.
Alright, so speaking of, though, unfortunately, my one of the, nicest dungeons of the Light World doesn't seem to be having too much. we have one more technically is on, so the Nilibiki chest, while it is again, very far off chest to go get, especially without boots, right? It is actually in Logic. And it's in Logic because we definitely have the lamp early, so.
Right. And I know, this is gonna not work out great for Skelly, given the fact that Skelly is gonna essentially last locate their glove for Dark World access, but they did get a fire rod out of it, and that's not terrible. Yes, we do have Green Pendant Skull Woods, but we have Red Crystal Turtle Rock, so.
Yeah, and of course, this being almost, and we have almost done dungeons, so, of course, I think one nice thing, hopefully, that maybe if you can try and plan it out, is that if you can get the rest of your pendants, and then have, Skullwoods be your last one, and you have the mirror, very... Oh, well...
Speaking of the mirror,
suddenly, that Eastern Palace place looking...
And the boots are on!
The boots are on Stack Rock! Oh my gosh, okay, so Skelly's gonna last locate his glove in Ice Rock. It looks like he's gonna go, but... When is Matt gonna go to Eastern?
That's rough.
Oh my gosh, because Matt has Dark World access.
Yeah, and Matt's plays are totally defendable, and ideal in this situation. You want to hold off on he has Dark World access, so let's hold off a little bit on an unclearable Eastern Palace. I didn't just go through puberty there for a moment.
Is this a side effect of the ASMR voice for too long?
Suddenly the ASMR voice is betraying me.
You should actually you should sell this, Cakes. It's ASMR, makes you younger. I bet people actually go buy. By the way,
let's not. All right, okay. I regret everything I just said.
Skelly, unfortunately, so he double-checked, trusted but verified the Desert Ledge. So he did, in fact, remember that it was 5 rupees. Do you remember when we were talking about Skelly maybe potentially feeling kind of sad when he finds his glove in Ice Rod Cave, and then he has now made a second trip over to the desert area?
Well, I suspect at this point, Skelly probably won't come back to the desert area until you have, mitts and flute.
All right. So by the way, Matt found the Desert Palace small key. So Desert actually is completely in Logic now. Oh boy.
It's a little more unfortunate.
Yeah, he also did find certainly we can see the Master Sword, holding in the Dark Pug's hand. We also found a small key to Castle Tower. Maybe something a bit more appealing for Matt if he wants to try and make his way over to Castle Tower. We actually got 2 checks in there. Of course, with the lamp, we can actually see and get everything. Of course, what would make it more efficient if he had the mirror, so we could just mirror a pyramid. But
Can I interest you in the second castle tower key, Clear Mouse?
No, I absolutely. Oh, okay, unless something is on Lumberjack, which I think Skelly did scout, but I don't remember what it was.
It didn't look like anything important.
Man. Okay, if you're rooting for Matt and Pugs, and any amount of boots usage on his side, you really want Matt to go find the Eastern Palace big key and a bow. Or somehow he's just going to like get funneled into Eastern Palace, but right now it's kind of looking like he has too much to do.
Yeah, like you're kind of unsure when he's going to get over there. We are setting up a Hera pot. I'm assuming this is the free setup.
Yeah, looks like it.
All right,
just
good
move
job.
a couple of setup pixels, horizontally and vertically, and then bam, you've hook-shotted right up the tower. Exactly how everybody intended for you to get up here. Lumberjack is a hard piece. All right, thank you.
So Skelly is going to get their gloves and have Darkhold access. So we'll be a little curious to see how long it takes for them to actually get up the mountain. It is kind of an amusing play, or amusing. It is kind of an interesting and like incentivized play, I think.
Oh yeah. And so I mean, once Skelly gets up to the mountain, he will be very, very happy. Seeing the boots, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's gonna go get his hook shot now. Yeah, so I think that'll be even more incentive for him to go up there. He's gonna get his boots and get his master sword. He is going to be able to take down Moldor. Oh my gosh, Matt.
Moldorm.
He is a big jerk.
Yep.
You would think. All right, take 2 for Matt, and unfortunately, again, we don't have boots. Matt knows where the boots are, he just doesn't know where the mirror is. All right, so yeah, I think presumably Skelly's also gonna have a little bit of easier time. I mean, granted, like it's not like the boots give you any type of like offensive power, but it does, if you can maybe dash, you can maybe do some NMG stress. I mean, you could, like there is some amount of safety. We have a lot of pod keys, by the way.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's some pod interest going on right now.
Okay, yeah, so I see Sammy marking that's our 5th pod small. Like that's a lot of pod smalls in suddenly. I mean, like how tempted are you? You don't have a bow. And it's still kind of a trap.
I would be fairly tempted in Matt's shoes because the rest of Matt's options at this point are for him an incompletable Skull Woods, and for both owners an incompletable Thieves Town. And then of course Sahasrahla Eastern, and then Sahasrahla Eastern. So like, I can very much see pod being pretty attractive for him.
Okay. Yeah, and of course, pod, especially in Key Sanity, right? All of these 6 small pod keys, dungeon items are kind of shuffled in the mix. Obviously we've seen a lot of them out in the wild already, but it's also very high density, right? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, with 5 keys you can get all of the chests except like the big chest, certainly. Of course, unless we find the big chest inside, or...
Yeah, I mean, not entrance and brings in a lot of conditional key logic in terms of like, the vanilla big key chest might be in logic if it locks whatever or leads to, the 6 pod key or a bow or something. So
okay.
there are conditional key logic aspects to consider here that I do not have the same knowledge of as I would just in like entrance key sanity logic.
Yeah, that's right. I certainly do remember you saying that. Or sorry, I mean, like I do remember that there is it's not necessarily like a it is non-trivial difference. Certainly worth knowing the differences. But talking about though, like we have playableness on Skelly's side. He might have been feeling a little bit bad about the glove, but suddenly here, that Eastern Palace dip though has definitely paid off quite handsomely for him. Let's see in this case if Matt decides to go in as well.
It's gonna be a tough sell because like he now has a full desert at his disposal.
You're right, yeah. Matt, don't you realize that desert is not in logic without the bow? It's actually in logic, 100%. I'm just saying, like, we're just trying to, wean him over.
For Clear Mouse commentary seeds, the bow is logically required for desert.
That's right. I'm trying to help you, Matt, get the boots, okay? Like, we're watching how much fun Skelly's having right now with the boots. Is Matt actually? Where is Matt going? Out of curiosity.
This is gonna be. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
Sick Kid.
he'll
Okay.
inevitably go to Skull Woods, but like this is Sick Kid turn in.
Okay. I see Matt has decided to take another set of legions. Dunka, visiting Lazy Kid, Sick Kid, Cousin, got some Zora money. Maybe chess game money, dig game money, and whatever else is going to be here.
All of the money.
Yeah. Oh. Alright, so hopefully in this case Skelly can be fair a little bit better with Moldorm. But again, so technically the boss RNGs are seeded with Moldorm. That being said, this is Moldorm, so... And yeah, Skelly handled it very, very well.
Yes. So Matt's going to have an interesting, like, route through Skull Woods, because we haven't picked up a Skull Wood small key. So his choices are going to either be, do the front of Skull Woods, or like do the back of Skull Woods, and then like drop down and probably have to save and quit out of that. Or he could just say, I don't want to do Skull Woods right now. I'm going to go to the Village of Outcasts.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. We got a little bit of redemption. The unfortunate part, of course, is sword or not, going through those bushes without the boots. I mean, you can't obviously dash them, through the bushes without a sword, but just even like slashing them, picking them up is.
Was that the
it can be a
other
distractor.
rod on Floating Island?
Oh, was it? Let's go take a... Well, I don't know if Scully's going to give us another quick peek at this. That's somewhat convenient then, at least for for Skelly and Matt, right? They're I mean, by the time they get to Trinex and try and beat Turtle Rock, they'll be able to just get the ice rod.
Look like a small key? Potentially, yeah. Okay, they're saying look like key. That's fair.
Did you happen to catch which key it is then? If it's a small key...
The one on Floating Island? No, Clairmouse, I didn't happen to catch which key it was.
Well, then maybe we need a couple
extra
text boxes,
enlighten me as to which key is on Floating Island.
Well, it's not the pod big, because Matt just found that in the front of Thieves Town. Okay, are you going to pod now?
Yeah, you're definitely going to pod now.
You know what's also really unfortunate? What that mirror placement is. Matt can't even mirror to go to Eastern. He needs the freaking mirror from Eastern to go... Well, it's not inverted, but, you would like the mirror in order to go to, Pod Eastern. Oh. I will bet you donuts / kibble / whatever other type of food that Matt might enjoy, or his Sprite, that once he finds the mirror, he is going back to the mountain. Like, almost... Well, whatever. He's finished up whatever he's doing, and then he's going to go to the mountain and get his boots. Alright, looks like nothing else really in maybe the front of Thieves Town. We don't have a mirror, but we also don't have that much health, so death warping is not going to be too big of an issue. We're watching Skelly do all of these things that Matt had done earlier, except he gets to do them, probably not 4x faster, but, that probably faster.
Definitely faster. And, with the mirror, he's going to be able to do a couple other checks, like he can loop in K45, he's got both castle tower keys, so, he can go up and check the pyramid and get those two checks that are definitely in logic.
Yeah, no. Skelly certainly is. I mean, he's a very, very formidable player. You play him in keys. I mean, the key is he is scary. Well, all right, looks like we're gonna do at least a quick K45. This might be like K45 into dig game area or some, like the south Dark World stuff, and then maybe start a hype cave again and go north.
I mean, I think what this is he's gonna finish his route at dig game mirror and rush up and do Thieves Town, Skull Woods play.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. That's true. Alright, Matt, kind of showing us the easiest room in the game, done with Samaria. Automatically made probably at least 10 times easier. Yeah, take that, NMG runners. Why don't you just find the cane next time? Bring it with you to Skull Woods. You see how easy it is? Alright, yeah. Actually, yeah, you were talking about, Matt still didn't have a small key. I mean, Skelly certainly doesn't have one either, but this route, we're just going to go straight to the back, and then Matt's going to save and quit, I guess, walk back and then just drop down and do the rest? Is that...
Yeah, that seems to be the likeliest outcome here, because he's already done south, or he's already done the village, so there's no risk of him skipping anything. Where are we going, Skelly? We are not running. We are running.
Is this faster?
Oh, he's doing
saving quitting. Oh, he wants to Bombo's tablet. Is that...
Yeah, Skelly must have realized that they skipped Bombo's tablet.
Okay, this makes sense. All right, so no flippers, no swamp small means that we can't go into this dungeon right now. I'm not necessarily if you necessarily want to, but you know, if you can beat it, right? Here you are.
And Skelly will be able to combo this into an actual desert clear.
Oh yeah, that's true. See, okay, so yeah, so this is great. So even though if you, oh my god,
oh, that's...
wow, that is a very
okay.
Nice
so Matt's gonna have to get funneled into the mirror then at some point, because that locks the mitts. So like Matt will get the mitts and the boots, or Matt will get the mirror and the boots before mitts.
Yeah. And actually, maybe a little bit more incentive for him to go back to the Eastern Palace area. He did pick up the green pendant from Mothula. So, and that's one more thing that he can go, like, that he has to do on that side of the world.
Yeah. And so it'll be interesting to see how Matt approaches the Pod Eastern area, because he's not going to have the mirror for it.
Hey, look, it's that key that we found on Floating Island.
It's the key on Floating Island. Yeah. Definitely the key we found on Floating Island.
Yes, exactly. All right, well, suddenly we have actually another weapon that we can use to go kill Landmost with. Skelly will probably still use the Fire Rod.
I would say a Fire Rod probably the slightly more preferential of the items.
I feel like, okay, you know what? I was gonna say that maybe you should use the Ice Rod because he has blue mail, so be fashion forward with the Master Sword. But he does have the Fire Shield, which is red, so maybe it's okay.
It's a nice contrast of colors, So sometimes life is all about being colorful, Clear Mouse.
Of course.
I don't know where I was going with that, but like, if you're all one monotone color, that makes you a boring person. So like, you need a little splash in there. Like, Skelly is like wearing blue, has a blue sword, has an ice rod. Those are all blue things. Blue by its, blue, fine color. Nothing wrong with that. But when you're stacking blue on blue on blue on blue, switch it up a little bit. Get a little.
Fair. Yeah, well, so I think actually thanks to like the sprite artist, doesn't it actually look like the Shy Guy has red shoes on? So he basically have boots,
Oh yeah, this is true. Shout out to the artist, because I'm sure that was entirely intentional.
Yeah.
So can we do it to where like if you have boots, your sprite changes to where you're actually wearing the boots?
Oh my gosh, I would like that a lot. I don't actually know if that's possible, as I don't know the technical limitations of this game. But I think that'd actually be really cool as a change. Shout out to all the sprite artists, by the way. Like the art that they have done is like amazing.
Yeah, I mean the fact that we have hundreds of sprites at our disposal to use for
actual
the
hundreds. Like he like Wallcakes is not exaggerating. Hey, look, it's a small key. Dude, I mean
that doesn't change up Matt's route at all because he's done here.
Well, yeah, he's done. But I mean, if you told him like, hey, by the way, there's a small key to Skull Woods inside the dungeon, he may have routed it slightly different. I guess we don't know, but
that's not where the small key is though. Like it's supposed to be in this chest.
But you know what? I'll settle for a different key on Floating Island. It is Tempered Sword, so maybe when Matt gets there, man, again, it would. She's having Tempered also for Mothula would also have been pretty nice. Wow.
Yeah, that is a little true, but to be fair, I feel like Matt's Mothula fight was actually really good because
it was.
We didn't actually talk about it, but I felt like that went pretty well.
Oh yeah, especially no boost, Master Sword, hammer. Probably not that many fire rush shots. I guess I didn't actually see, but I mean, yeah, like Matt certainly handled it. Like I don't even think that many spikes moved, which is like a really good sign to tell like how good the fight was.
Well, I mean, look how much magic he had. Clearly, he didn't use the fire rod.
Oh yeah.
Don't add me at this because clearly that is how that.
Clearly, he just slapped after the pendant, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Picked up the pendant and somehow mirrored out with this mirror that he doesn't have.
All right. Well, okay. You know what? Oh, well, that's right. I forgot the Shy Guy's red mail color is gray-ish. Do you think there's a gray sword out there? Not great. Gray.
There's a great sword out there. Yes. I don't know. I don't know where I don't know. I don't know anything. Clearmouse.
Yeah,
How's it going?
You know what? It's going actually quite well. I think for what it's worth, for maybe for a Skelly, especially fighting red mail, and these are probably things that especially with, not save scaling items at this point, he's probably pretty happy to have that mirror. We are still going to be death warping a lot, I think, or sorry, wanting to get out of the dungeons early because we don't have, even all the big keys that we have currently. We have a Meyer big key, we have a TR big key. We still can't really get into those dungeons yet.
Yeah.
So then in all the other dungeons, like Thieves Town, right, we can get the front four, but we actually watched on Matt's side when he was trying to death warp out, he didn't have that much health. So it maybe wasn't too bad, but yeah, in Skelly's position, you really want that mirror.
Mm-hmm. And Skelly's definitely built up a little bit of a lead as the result of his boots, but Matt's obviously been doing things. He has
for sure
Kara and Skull, dungeon wise they're actually even.
Yeah, and of course Matt's actually on his way to go get his third, well, in this case, dungeon completion, but also another crystal.
Yeah.
So
and Chet's been asking a bit about how this race has gone. Basically the early game, what happened was that Skelly, when doing Mini Moldrum Cave, ran out of bombs, so Skelly didn't have the opportunity to go to Ice Rod Cave. Matt did, and the Ice Rod Cave is where the glove was, which gave Matt Dark World access. For Skelly, because Ice Rod Cave was isolated, they went and did everything else, which led them into Eastern Palace, which gave them the mirror and the boots. So, it's a little bit of Matt's routing is absolutely correct for what he knows and what he's done. It just it's unfortunate in this seed that it's not the most ideal route, given that he's going to have much later boots.
Yeah. I mean, right, and this is a randomizer, right? The whole point is that the items are randomized. You cannot control where they're placed. There are only one pair of boots, and so if they end up getting placed somewhere that is very inconvenient for one route, even if that route is very efficient, as you said, right? Matt has made probably objectively correct decisions based on his knowledge. It's just sometimes it just doesn't work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Skelly is suddenly very rich.
Yeah, all the money.
So at this point, I mean, are you still going to try and hold out for a bow before going to pod?
No, I think Matt does pod first.
Okay. I guess if you're Skelly, so Skelly has the mirror, right? From Eastern Palace Big Key Chest. Are you more tempted to try and wait for a bow because then you can combo Eastern Pod together? Or
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, okay.
Skelly's got Dark Death Mountain available, and I'd imagine we probably have a little bit of access into Turtle Rock given our item layout. So I wouldn't be surprised if TR is a play.
Yeah. No, that's actually a good point. Yeah. I forgot the myths actually open up stuff other than just Smith Chain, because that's what Skelly was doing first. I mean, it made a lot of sense because he was certainly just right there, right? And so he was just making his basically way up through Village Valcast, and again, being efficient. But yes, the mountain, Dark Death Mountain, is certainly on the table for our runners, or at least for Skelly.
Yeah. And this is going to kind of be where we see, Skelly's early routing kind of pay out, and that he's going to be able to get to a lot of these things much quicker. So for Matt, it's going to be about how badly do I feel behind, and when do I start making skips? Yeah.
This might be the Eastern play, since he's kind of shuffling his way over here. Although this also could be the pod play, depending on. I mean, this is the hammer. we are going to pod. That is what this. Oh, we're gonna probably go to Saha first to go turn the green pendant, or we're just gonna go directly over to pod.
We're just gonna go directly over.
Yep, Do not pass go. Do not go get your mirror. Do not collect.
I feel like in Matt's mind, 5 small keys and the pod big key. If anywhere I would be expecting the mitts or the mirror to show up, it'd be pod.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Yeah. And based on the conditional key logic, the fact that we have 5 probably already gives you even logically, good amount of stuff, right? So I mean, certainly there are going to be stuff that's still 6 key locked, right? Helma himself, right, for example, but we don't have a bow either. So, and while the bow lock side is not in logic because we still haven't seen it yet, Matt's got at least one green potion
Yeah.
from somewhere, from back of escape. Yeah, so I'm actually not sure if he is comfortable. I guess maybe clipping, maybe in a higher stakes tournament race, but that's a kind of a moot point at this stage. There's a lot of traffic here trying to do the escort mission with Kiki. Yeah, we're gonna see basically, how many. Oh, you know what? Matt was even kind enough to find the pod compass before we entered the dungeon for us. We can actually count along with him, right?
He also found the map. He also found the map too, because there's a nice sea up there.
You're right. We did find the pod map. By the way, I don't know if you told. Okay, Skelly probably knew that you were commentating because you could see. Because while maybe you were wondering why your name was showing up, on the pre-race screen, I bet Skelly saw. It's like, you know what? Wallkicks is commentating. Oh, he skipped the map in Hammerpegs. He actually walked up a little, a couple pixels, and then he decided to leave. I bet it was because of you. That's my story.
I appreciate it, Skelly.
Did we find anything, by the way, in pod so far?
We've done one check. Here's our second check.
Okay, all right. So all right, big key to swamp. Again, okay, these are big keys that you would like to have, before you go into the dungeon. Those are always nicer to find. All right, so yeah, but and of course on Skelly's side, very nice hammer moth fight. On his side, probably maybe a little bit more cavalier with his movement. He does have red mail, therefore he can employ the I have red mail movement, which is it doesn't matter where I move, I just run into everything, but I don't say I hardly take any damage. What is Skelly doing? Oh,
the I have red mail movement is the best movement. Don't at me.
Well, I mean, I don't even think it matters how many hearts you have when you have red mail. You just can't die. And then, sometimes every once in a while you hear some, heartbeats of encouragement, and you're just like, oh, someone's cheering for me. That's nice.
Someone's cheering. I appreciate your cheers.
Well, yeah.
So Skelly gonna drop down, get the Skullwood Small and the sword. Skelly, I don't think has done North Dark World yet.
He has not. Yeah, I was actually wondering if this was presumably with the earlier route that he took, just like Matt. He was planning on probably saving quitting out. However, he's going to find his Temper Sword and his Skull Small right here. So now I'm actually kind of curious if he wants to go to, as you mentioned, North Dark World, because actually he can walk out. He has the mirror to do Graveyard Ledge, so. Actually seems kind of nice to be able to do that.
Right, this makes for some good overall routing. And it looks like that's
probably
exactly what he's gonna do.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. All right, so Matt, again, mirrorless. He is taking, the most efficient damage that he has, which is the fireballs from these Kadangos. Not Sankheart. Oh my. Okay. That would have been very sad, I think, for Matt, if that happens to be the heart that refills the rest of your health.
Okay, look, I've had that happen to me in
we
Castle
understand.
Tower, and I'm
Tower?
down to a second chest Castle Tower, and I'm
sad.
all right, I'm down to a half a heart. Open the chest, and it's Sankheart.
That is so sad. Or heart piece, right? I think it's happened to probably many people.
Yeah, but mine specifically was Sankheart.
No. See that's just very. It's like the game is, I think, just purposely being mean to you, right? Because at least a heart piece, you have the chance, where you have 1 in 4 chance that it's actually not a refill. So it's, maybe you could have got a little unlucky by sequencing, but the Sankheart you literally can't do anything about. Matt has checked every single, I guess, remote chest so far. Middle Big Key, but not Middle Big Key. Harmless Hellway had the best compass, which is Thieves Town. This one, unfortunately, 3 bombs. So we found a big key to swamp, right?
Why is Thieves Town the best compass?
Well, I don't know. It just is.
Oh, okay. Look, the way you said it made me believe that there was actual lore behind it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if I told you that maps are actually valuable, or Eastern Palace is a worthwhile dip, would you believe me? Despite even what you've seen on Skelly's side?
Look, I trust you, Clear Mouse. So
thank you. Okay.
I demand the lore now. No, you don't actually need to see anymore.
I don't know. I just really like the Thieves Town compass.
Okay. All right. You heard it here, guys. The Thieves Town compass is the best compass.
It is. I mean, it's also locked by 6 pod keys in this situation. So, how could, something not good be locked by 6 pod keys? Never mind about, vanilla Vicky chest. Only look at the compass.
Only look at the compass.
Yes. All right. Okay. Did we find anything else, by the way, in pot besides this pot big?
There was a Turtle Rock small key that was locked.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that is
So what
good.
does Matt have left?
He has Castle Tower. It looks like that is where we're going. By the way.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that looks like he might have to do is Death Warp. Maybe he'll just save and quit. Yo, look at— oh my gosh!
Dodge.
Nobody panicked. It's always a picnic with Skelly. That is what I've learned. He did really well to do Ancilla with Ice Rod. I heard it's actually kind of finicky too. So,
I mean that was a really good one. It'll be interesting to see if he needs to do it again. If there's something here on Zora Ledge.
A nice contrast. We got the Fire Rod usage on Matt's side to kill off the guards. I completely missed Zora Ledge though. I hope it wasn't useful.
It was a map.
Okay. Well, given which map Skelly has already skipped, especially like a Hammer Pegs. Oh, that is Bombo's medallion. Okay.
Interesting.
Is the mountain suddenly looking a little bit more appealing? You know, we do have the second medallion. We've got. You know, that means we actually can get in.
Yeah, I mean, and it looks like that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Yeah, right now though, so while, you know, we do say kind of like boots, especially when one runner gets it very early and then another runner kind of gets it late, like, yeah, there is going to be, you know, speed differences, etc., right? You know, movement. And certainly, yes, Skelly has taken advantage of, you know, probably the pretty significant time gap at this point, you know, between when he gets boots, or he got boots, and then when Matt will get boots. But kind of also looking at the logic, right? Boots locked, Mirror locked the boots, and then also locked Boppo's tablet, which is Mitts, and looks like Skelly's just going to town, basically, you know, in his Dark Worlds.
Yeah.
That's our 6th pod key? Holy
pod key 6. Which, interestingly enough, is locked behind all 3 Skullwood small keys.
Oh yeah, that's true. Alright, well that's a map that Skelly probably cannot stuff back into that chest. Oh, I got another Turtle Rock small as well. Ooh, okay, if you're getting into Turtle Rock, are you going in? Like, and if you are, how far are you going? Just like all the way till basically
to Laser Bridge, essentially.
Laser Bridge.
I mean,
well, yeah, we do have the Turtle Rock big key. Under what circumstances would you open the?
Oh well, now it doesn't matter. All right, see, glad I delayed.
Wow. Well, okay. So Skelly, well, we saw on Matt's side where the 4th Turtle Rock key was, and that was in the Bullock side of pod. So I was actually going to ask you, like, under what circumstances would you open the lava chest? I guess, like, only unless you have 4. If you had like 2 with the big key, like, would you just try and do the?
Oh yeah, no, I'm never opening that chest unless I have 4.
Okay.
I do not want to put myself in a position where I have to search out those 4 TR key.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, in this particular seed, maybe it is a bit more generous. Hey, look, we're gonna find out what this Turtle Rock, this floating island key is.
Yeah. It's this ice rod is
the water rod.
It's the water rod.
Okay. We're going in. Looks like it.
Yeah.
And we can actually beat this dungeon.
We're gonna clear it. All right. So, real talk. Clear mouse.
Yes, wall kicks.
What do we need for go mode?
Well, we already beat Desert, so we're kind of already pretty out of logic. But I guess, okay, if we're gonna try and bring ourselves back, we do probably need at least 1 bow.
We need a bow. We need flippers. We need flutes.
We need flippers. We do need flutes. We do need that GT. Well, okay, yes, and yeah, of course we do know in this case that the GT big key, which of course we do need in key sanity, is on the pedestal. So at some point, our runners will also make their way back over there. Yeah, so actually, suddenly.
Yeah, we don't need much.
Yeah.
So at this point, this is where everyone hold on for a second. I'm going to talk about pendants and crystals and maps. This is where you're gonna need to.
How hypothetical are these situations, Ball Kicks? I'm just going to, get those flavors out of the way.
Fairly hypothetical.
Oh, okay, okay.
I have been known to map check from time to time, but what I was saying is that you need to start kind of considering what your pendants are going to be, and is there the potential for something to be in GT?
Oh, true.
Because we only have seen one pendant, which is Skullwoods, and no one has done a map check to even, potentially give us what our second and third pendants might be.
Well, I think if anybody, if either Skelly or Matt's going to be doing map checks, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Matt. Skelly has already skipped like 5 maps at this point.
That's true.
So I don't necessarily think, and I think, so I'm trying to remember if actually Skelly actually talked to the bomb merchant, but Matt for sure did, and so we already do know that Meyer and Turtle Rock are red crystals. But yeah, so what knowledge do we not have at this point? Kind of looking at what Sammy has told us: Ice Palace, Thieves Town, Swamp, and Eastern.
Correct.
Yeah. So okay. So if Eastern's a pendant, which we still haven't seen Eastern Palace Big Key, it is as I've heard, pretty elusive. Along with the bow, like it very well could be in GT if it's a pendant.
Yeah. Well, I mean the bow obviously can't be. I mean, there can be a bow in GT, but not our logical bow.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
We do have Crystal Pod.
Crystal Pod.
And even even if Pod was a pendant, the fact that one of our TR small keys is bow lock would tell you that there is a bow pre-GT.
Right. Right. Using logic, right? Because there's that fourth turtle I know.
So Matt has mirror boots now. It's gonna
Did you say mirror boots or did you say real boots?
I said mirror boots.
Mirror boots. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. It's gonna be a little interesting because the boots and mirror by themselves don't necessarily open up a whole lot for Matt. So he's gonna obviously get to where he needs to go soon, which is Bombo's tablet. But it could still take him a little bit to get there, given just your general order of operations that you're looking at. He's also gonna probably
I think it's a lumberjack check because he never. Yeah, he probably didn't do this without boots, which I think is also pretty commonly seen as well for a lot of open run mode for runners. Yeah.
He's got both keys. This could very easily in his mind be something.
Yeah, and of course, right, and and one of the rationales, of course, for not checking lumberjack until you get the boots is, well, you can't actually get the lumberjack item without getting boots first, so may as well go check it after after you go get boots, and especially in this case, as you said, right, both Castle Tower keys, while in just regular keys modes, like when they all show up, it looks kind of suspicious. So then even if it's not if it's not Dark World required, it still could, or mode required, it still could be something necessary, right? So very reasonable for Matt to kind of chase this one down. All right, is this actually gonna be Matt's mitts, by the way?
It looks like it, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Oh well, talk about even greater. Well, I mean, okay, Matt hasn't gotten to the mitts yet, but that is definitely another piece of progression that we need in Turtle Rock, which is the flute.
Oh yeah, that is required, and likely gives Skelly just the next direction.
Yeah. So I guess do you ever I guess worry about skipping the vanilla Bicky chest in Turtle Rock? I guess maybe eventually you don't okay, the best case scenario certainly is to you just never have to come back, but I guess when you're kind of down to searching for one item, right, and you kind of have the world open to you, are you ever worried about skipping this chest?
Me personally, no. But I've learned that my thought process on rando seeds is a little bit unique or a little bit different than a lot of people, because I generally don't look at anything as if it's here I lose, which
that's actually that's a very constructive mentality. Things can go very, very poorly if you think that you need to make these wacky plays or positions, and then you could also just be actually ahead or just still in it very much, so you just play normally.
Yeah, so it's it's if I'm making a skip the vanilla big key chest in TR because I only have 3 TR keys, I'm not too worried about that. Am I going to get burned by it every couple months? Heck yes, I am. But that's rando.
Okay, so what you're telling me is I just need to stop playing rando, once every couple months, right? I keep playing. Okay, just take that one time off, and I'll just never get burned. Okay, gotcha.
Precisely. Go take you play rando for 3 months, and then you're okay, I need to watch seeds until I find the one person that has something at the required.
Yes, exactly. It might be this one, by the way, for what it's worth.
It could be. Well, okay. Theoretically, at this point, it could be flippers. It could be Eastern Big, because are
in GT, you mean, or just Go mode in general?
No, in the big key chest in Turtle Rock. I thought that's what we were talking
okay.
about. Yeah.
Right. Imagine trying to keep on topic and not have my.
Alright, so Skelly done with Turtle Rock, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. Crystal number 1, 2, 3. Looks good. Looks good to me.
Yeah, looks. Yeah, I approve.
Also 5, 6. Actually, so if we can actually find flippers, that would actually be kind of a nice combo into like you do Swamp, into Pyramid Fairy after Mire. Because like, did Skelly do Purple Chest out of curiosity? Do you remember, or did he?
I don't think Skelly did Purple Chest.
Okay.
Because Skelly did all this. Oh no, I was gonna say it didn't have the. Oh, there's a bow right there.
He definitely did not do Purple Chest. Well, that is something that can kind of. Well, maybe depending on what Skelly wants to do, Purple Chest may not be very high on his radar.
No,
but that's certainly.
Low.
Yeah, but. That certainly can swing things a little bit here in favor. Matt's certainly at this point a deficit, just because he, well, not only, of course, didn't get to do a lot of stuff with boots, certainly did lose a bit of time over Skelly that, but also, right, like just kind of behind just on actual progression items as well. But Matt's definitely catching up, right? There were a lot of things that he has had, certainly, went to the mist really quickly, got the bow here in Purple Chest, so certainly looking pretty good here to clear out Pod as well.
Yeah, so now it's just going to be a question of how long does it take Skelly to come back to Purple Chest, assuming that there's not that our second bow isn't on the critical path.
Oh yeah, that's right. So of course, the bows are progressive in pretty much all the random modes at this point. There are 2 bows out there, but of course, as you mentioned earlier, wall kicks like one, okay, there. Oh, you know what? Never mind. As you mentioned earlier, that the other bow is just sitting here in Marsha, not totally in GT.
Jeez. All right.
Wow.
Well. That was
Eastern Palace Sticky for Go mode. Is that what we're saying?
We need the Thieves Town Sticky.
We missed that. Oh, right.
But
okay,
that was a really exciting 55 seconds of, oh man, did this race just turn on its head? And then Skelly was like, no, it didn't.
Oh wow. So okay, I guess you're still technically 2 items still from Go mode, right? Like if we did, of course, obviously, if we just buy the Mire Medallion, we do not, of course, need either because Skelly is already inside the dungeon. So yeah, okay. If you're Skelly, I'm assuming you feel like you've done a really good job for the mid game. Maybe like the early game was a bit, shakier because like the gloves were pretty much your last location in the light world. But he's done a tremendous comeback basically, for his mid game. Would you be, I don't know, would you still be full clearing stuff? Or maybe you come back over to left side swamp, right? And you're still missing, let's say 1 item. Would you be tempted at all to skip it?
Maybe because honestly, that was our first GT small key. The fact that our GT small keys have been kind of sparse would give me a little bit of hesitation. That was a very quick map check, and I'm pretty sure I saw Crystal Pod, Crystal Swamp, which I think potentially puts Skelly in GT mode.
GT mode? Okay.
If Ice is a crystal, then Skelly is in GT mode.
Okay, so speaking of though, I guess, maybe this is a question for Skelly not wanting to skip stuff. We are here in Right Side Mire. We have 0 Mire small keys. I hear that you need at least 3 more to put this in logic.
I mean, I say it, and this is when I was.
It's gonna be Eastern Palace Vicky or something.
Yeah, like when I was doing a practice race with my team, this is the exact location that burned me because I didn't have 3 Mire small keys when I came into Mire. I got my 3rd Mire small key in Mire in the chest next to the big chest, and I'm like, nope.
Wow.
I am not running back for left side for cutscene chest. And
were you actually running out of curiosity, or were you?
No.
I'm gonna talk about. All right, we'll talk about suddenly GT maybe looking. Well, again, this is locked by my 3 Mire smalls. 1 GT, sorry, 2. The second GT key. It gets you. Can it get to the rando room in the basement? Do you happen to know?
Not off the top of my head.
Okay. That's all. Yeah, I'm just actually wondering how much more in this case can maybe all the Mire small keys are just in the front of the basement or something, right?
The thing is, Skelly has so many big item areas to go. Like Skelly hasn't touched Pod. It has 14 items. Hasn't touched Ice Palace, which has 8 items. Hasn't touched Swamp Palace, which has 9 items for him because the 10th is locked in Pod.
Right, that's
a
right.
lot that Skelly has available to search out, you know, potentially 2 pendant big keys.
Alright, well, we are at least full clearing Mire on Skelly's side, so we just have one more, looks like the map chest, and then we're gonna go to Vitreous. So, okay, so at this point, you're looking for potentially 2 big keys to pendant dungeons. Is there a order of dungeons that you are able to clear now that you would take a ranking to? Like, where would you go next, basically? Like, would you go to Ice first? To go search for things? Pod's looking pretty good with those 5 pod keys, you know?
I'd say Pod's looking pretty good with those 5 pod keys, and Skelly would get the 6th going to Pod because he'll mirror and do.
Oh yeah, it's Green Pendant turn in. Mm-hmm. Oh right, I was like, why is Matt doing? Oh, he has the 4th Rocky
TR key.
Mm-hmm. It is
Not
just
failed.
10 arrows today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go back to your, like, what is your order of operations? I think it's a matter of how interested are you in Pyramid Fairy.
I forgot about Pyramid Fairy. Right, we talked about this before.
If you are interested in Pyramid Fairy, then I think your answer is probably something to the realm of Ice Swamp Pod.
Okay.
If you're not interested in Pyramid Fairy, it's probably Swamp Ice Pod.
Oh, Swamp. Oh, okay, I see. You go to Swamp, and then you just dash basically over to Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, and maybe we will actually stumble upon, let's say, a map. You know, that is either like the map to Thieves Town or like the map to Ice Palace. You know, imagine. Mm-hmm. Oh, I was like, I don't actually think that was in. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but Skelly has a fairy, and it's already, already out here.
Skelly was well prepared for that. And...
Okay. Oh, right, he has no bow. I was like, why is he trying to do all the... Oh, no, he does have a bow. Oh, okay, maybe he was just trying to do some other strats.
But I mean, no silver, so...
Oh, true, yeah.
Quick note, map checked, and I'm pretty sure I saw a Crystal Eastern.
Ooh, okay. So that means it can show up in GT. We found our 3rd GT small, by the way, on Vitreous.
So there's 3 GT small just in Mire. Okay.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I guess one of them technically still is locked by 3 Mire smalls, right? Which we still have seen 0 of, but it kind of makes me less optimistic that all 3 are just going to be sitting in the front of GT.
Yeah.
Okay, Matt picked up his flute, by the way, and so he is going to, despite us not having any compasses, I believe that Matt has full cleared out Turtle Rock, including, of course, the vanilla Bicky chest, which is only 10 arrows. Will not help him because he has not used the bow for anything. Alright, where is Skelly? Okay, looks like this is going to be Ice Palace. So Skelly does not want to isolate Pyramid Fairy. It looks like we are fluted. Oh, shit! Alright, I don't know if that was intentional. We Skelly loves to picnic. We have never seen him panic in his game, for sure.
Well, the idea is like doing the mirror before going into, or doing the flute before going to Ice Palace. For whatever reason, makes that Freezor come out ever so slightly earlier to allow you to shoot that fire rod shot just a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something about the variable setting or something. Yeah, I mean, certainly it's very, very common in MG, but they typically flute, I think, like, right before they enter Ice Palace, as in, like, you build a rock, you flute, and then you basically go through the Dark World at that point. Hey, look, we have a yellow sword. Oh, to go with Skelly's yellow hearts. Okay, I understand why he picked it up.
It's all about the colors. It is all about the colors.
We want multiple color options for us, right? We don't necessarily just want, one block color for the entire evening. Hey, look, it's a skull small. Oh, hey, we need one of those in theory for logic, yeah? It also would have been maybe kind of nice to, have before going into this skull list.
We definitely found another skull small in Mimic Cave.
Oh, we did? Okay. Oh, that's the 3rd one. Okay. Oh, right. Sammy, of course, already marked it. Yes, I understand.
Shout outs to Sammy, our tracker.
Oh,
Awesome
Sammy is
tracker.
wonderful. Oh my gosh.
And also follow the runners for sure as well. I mean, these are two fantastic runners.
All right. Okay. Do you think Skelly will skip Ice Tea? It's kind of fun.
No.
Okay. Would you? Oh, okay. We are still two.
Skelly did cutscene chess. I don't see them skipping.
Map 2? Oh. I got all excited for nothing. I mean, we already knew it was a crystal, so... Funny game.
Good. Myers small key.
Myers small key. Mm-hmm. See, at least with maps, I can kind of maybe understand, just because, like, you know, you can get map information from multiple sources, right? You can talk to the bomb shop dude, you can talk to Sahasrara, right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, and of course you can always, you know, beat the dungeon itself, right? To figure out if it's a crystal or a pendant, maybe with the exception of GT and Hyrule Castle. But, you know, for, like, compasses, like the one that Sally just picked up to Desert, it will always have a unique purpose. Like, there's no other unique source of, you know, data for a counter.
Right. So that's why they're the most important items in the game.
Yes. A very useful, by the way, PSA for Week 7 Randomizer. When you map check, yes, wall kicks, you heard me correctly. When you map check inside the dungeon with the compass, you can see what the end of the boss is. I'm just helping you for Week 7, okay?
Sounds like a job for my partner.
Oh, you're right. It's co-op.
It is co-op.
I think it would actually be hilarious. Yo, I don't know who you're playing with. Megawatt or Jet. Mind map checking for me? My X button's broken on my controller. Alright, Matt has activated his blue, by the way. He's finished the Turtle Rock, and we are doing... Oh, we're doing powder. Yeah, we're doing powder. Skelly has not done this, right?
No, I don't believe so.
Alright. We also have seen the reason why the Gold Sword is locked behind Ice Palace in the original game. You know, this is the old 3/ technique.
Yep. Because sometimes having that forward sword makes bosses a little bit easy.
Just a tad, just a smidge. You know, it's like a pat of butter. Just a pad. Anyway, what is I already had dinner. I am certainly not thinking of anything. By the way, also Meg. Oh, well then I hope that Matt and Skelly can finish quickly, so we do not keep you from food.
That is okay. I'm doing well. Mm-hmm. Skelly's definitely being pretty thorough overall.
Oh wow, we did a map check. Alright, he did find out that Eastern is his... Yeah, that's right, we picked up an Eastern map sometime early. Alright, so I think that is complete knowledge for him.
That should be that's a big key to
okay.
Oh, let's just like the two inflections of your ohs. It started exciting, and there was like, oh, disappointment.
It is. So it is an explicit meme rule that you are going to find every single big key that you do not want to see before you find the big keys that you want to see. Always.
So Matt picked up their flippers and his silvers. Probably does not feel happy about. Yeah, honestly,
I do agree.
Seeing those silvers probably doesn't feel happy about that. Because I imagine he thought maybe the bow that you got on purple chest could have been an out.
Yeah, considering how, say, you know, kind of how late. I mean, okay, so granted, you know, from Matt's relative time for when he actually got the mirror, you know, and the boots, you know, to his mitts, and you know, and then ultimately purple chest, like it was actually quite fast, right? But for how late he got the mirror, that like gap, right? You know, he probably, as you said, probably was trying to look for an item that would kind of give him, you know, kind of put him back in the game, right? Give him a little bit more of an edge to kind of counter off his, you know, disadvantage. And yes, just given that you just had the other bow and the flippers, you know, sitting there in Meyer's shed. Because okay, you know, so we're still of course missing Eastern Palace Big Key. We know it's a crystal, so we do know it can't be in GT. And what else what's that third pendant? Ice Palace and
Thieves Town.
Thieves Town. Okay. So Thieves Town Big Key can be in GT, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I guess if you're Matt, would you consider skipping Meyer left side?
He already did. Like,
he already did. Oh,
he did the first chest. Yeah, he's 100% skipping cutscene.
All right. Well, we did see on Skelly's side, yeah, that he picked up, I think, a GT small, right? And so, my guess is he's probably not gonna miss it. We hope.
No, I don't think so. Matt will get the other 2 GT small keys that are here and be fine.
All right, yeah. So right, I think it was kind of pointed out earlier that at least if you're fans of Matt, you are very happy to see Skelly here in Pod, still looking for things. One, of course, the biggest concerns, not for Skelly, that's for Rock Small Key, the 4th one, but is that if Skelly was in a position to go mode Pod versus full clearing it, and that is multiple minutes saved over Matt. So
yes, definitely.
Yeah, but I think in this case, Matt was also all the gate. He got everything out of Pod, right? Like because he had all the keys and everything. Yeah.
He did. Yeah, he did everything that he could.
Yeah, and right, and so certainly good news, for Skelly. Like, so while you probably weren't to come to Pod before Turtle Rock, but he did, of course, make the good sequence decision, to do Pod before Swamp because there's a Swamp big key, right? And it certainly has not. It's certainly very common for you to find the item that you would like to have had before you got to the dungeon that you just did.
Of course.
Right after that you went there.
So typical. Typical. Yeah. And Skelly is definitely setting up for a pyramid fairy play after Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and I think, to some extent, like Skelly, at least so far, he doesn't look like he's been skipping anything. He's been very thorough, even went to like Hobo, for example, right? But it does look like that maybe he'll try and give himself a more educated decision if he were going to skip left side Swamp, because again, if you have GT access and you find Eastern Palace Big Key on your travels, right? That's not GT. Eastern Palace Big Key, right? You go do your 7th crystal, and then, you can go do, and then you could be in GT book mode, right? So, do you want to do left side Swamp for 2 checks, or do you want to go, to look at 22 items in the basement?
That was a very nice NMG Vitreous fight, by the way, minus the fact that you shot 2 silver arrows at the end, but like...
Matt is very talented.
The way he set up killing the small eyeballs was very NMG-esque and very good.
Alright, so Matt's gonna finish up the desert area, and I guess, right, so after this, what is he going to go do? I guess...
Right to ice, probably.
Oh, ice, yes, yeah. Yeah, actually, I think, right.
The unfortunate part is, like, at this point in the race, it's hard to imagine that Matt's gonna do anything different from Skelly at this point.
Yeah, I guess Matt is just definitely in dungeon catch-up mode. He is going to skip out most likely on some of the stuff that Skelly has already done. Like, so I don't see him going to Zora before he finishes the dungeons. I don't see him doing like Hobo. Yeah, he might do Hobo after Ice, but again, like he is, as you said, I think he's just in dungeon clearing mode, and he even skipped left side Mire too, right? Again, like that's not going to burn him, and this is actually a very good omission from his path because he definitely needs to make up some time somewhere at this point.
Yeah, and like he's still just flat out behind essentially a full Ice Palace at this point.
Ice Palace didn't have anything. Okay, it's gonna have the gold sword here. Was there anything else that we cared about?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I'm kind of curious to see if Matt wants to try and skip Ice Tea. We did see on Skelly's side it was a desert compass. But of course, Matt's already been to desert, and he already got all the items, so we don't care. Alright, but Skelly is, again, he is tearing out these dungeons, just, one by one. All these bosses are just coming tumbling down.
Yep. Well, like you said, we'll just take this right into Swamp when we're done.
Oh, I assume, okay, so Skelly's gonna turn in the green pendant from Saha, and then we'll go to Swamp, right?
I thought he already did that, but I guess he has not. So,
maybe he hasn't, yeah. Well, okay, yeah.
But that is very correct in that, like, that is something that he would absolutely do.
Yeah, of course, the hope for Skelly, and certainly for many people who run AAD keys this week, is that you would ideally like to just go not explore the GT basement, You could just go make the climb directly. However, like if there is something that's potentially, you're still missing and it has the potential to be in GT Basement, it is a very, very dense, location for a lot of checks. Of course, the downside, is that you have to kind of take an extra mountain trip, and it's not even like a short mountain trip. It's like the actual.
It's a long, yeah. Matt did do iced tea, as a matter of fact.
He did. I did. Yes.
Will not be cutting off some seconds from his time there, unfortunately.
All right, yeah. So yeah, this is going to. Skelly had finished up his completely clearable ice palace, completely clearable pod, and here we are in his completely clearable swamp palace.
Yep. In Skelly's mind, it's just Eastern Big for GT mode.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, so it does really kind of seem like even now, kind of in like the mid game to like late game of AAD keys, it doesn't actually seem like it's all that much difference in just regular AD keys. You just don't necessarily have to do AGA at the very end, at least for this particular scene.
Yeah, you're not stressing over the 2 castle tower keys that could essentially be anywhere. Of course, in this we already have them, but. Yeah, in AD keys, the only real difference is you would be like, castle tower keys.
Yeah,
GT.
All right, Matt's taking down Cold Stare, setting up his NMG 6. I don't think he does 6 slash, but that might have been 6 slashes total, but that's not the like
yeah, maybe total.
Lovely.
Yeah, that's we're just gonna ignore that key.
Okay.
That key doesn't exist. Maybe as a first check after you full clear GT basement looking for Thieves Big, but like
it's one of those like keys on anywhere. Like nobody wants that tower para key. All right, nice specky clip on Skelly's side. Oh, we are actually gonna do Hobo as well on Matt's side. Are we gonna? Okay, so at this point, I guess if Matt goes back to Skullwoods, I don't think he wants to. That could be a potential out for him. But again, like
I have a hard time seeing Matt go in that direction anytime soon.
Yeah, because I mean, just like kind of what Skelly found in Mireshed, right? I mean, he found the bow, he found the swamp, he found the flippers. We already had Swamp Small from Floating Islands. I mean, like Matt will probably make his way into Swamp Palace probably relatively soon.
Yeah, like he's gonna he picked up that big key, probably felt decent for a second, and then it was like, nope, not the big key.
Yeah. Because again, I mean, even though we did see Skelly, go and check Hobo as well, but I mean, like Hobo, Wall Kicks, please tell me what you think about checking Hobo.
It's horrible. The end.
Yep, that is a very common sentiment. So again, if something were there, that could make Matt feel a little bit better. Granted, of course, that probably would have made Skelly feel even better. But of course, it's just the Skullwood's big key that again, nobody wants to go see, just like Harris Wall.
Of course, Allison.
All right, we stall for enough time for Skelly to do left side swap. What's over here? 20 rupees. Yeah, I think the primary difference for rupees is actually that Skelly has done Zora, and of course the 25 that he has just picked up here on left side swap. I can count too, not just because I watched the rupee counters go up, 20 and 5.
I'm very happy for you, Clear Mouse. And I think this is just showing that Skelly is just determined to be essentially as thorough as possible. Basically doing left side before going to the back, being, you're technically your go -2, but you're in GT mode -1. Yeah, and I think that seems to be a pretty pervasive mentality. Is like once in this case you got all your Crystal Palace big keys, or or whatever in this case, like like that. Can be in GT, like you basically just rush GT at that point because again it's just very, very dense. Good map.
Yes, good map.
It's my favorite.
So
map.
Useful information.
Desert Palace is my favorite map.
Is it really? Why is it your favorite map, Wall Kicks?
Because I live in the desert, so I like having a map to my home.
Oh, that makes sense. Do you have a bow by chance?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I did take archery in college, though.
That's so cool. How many cycles? How many cycles of Lambo did you have in high school?
It was I needed 1 semester to I needed 1 credit to graduate, and I'm like,
I'm actually more surprised that your high school offered archery. Like that's such like an uncommon or college. Sorry, I mean, but still, like that's not common. Like even in universities.
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it seems like it would.
I am Link confirmed.
Wall kicks is Link. All of a sudden, like you not wanting to go into your house without a ball makes a lot more sense.
We figured it out.
Yes, it all came back to when Wall Kicks was in college. Alright, so it looks like, by the way, he maybe just barely missed the 0 cycle. Gold Sword makes things a little bit weird. Okay. So does the Fire Rod. It's okay. We recovered. Just take another sandwich from the picnic basket.
Yep. So nothing at all in Swamp, which means we are off to Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah, by the way, oh yeah,
Pyramid. Have we done Pyramid at all and Catfish? I don't think so.
Skelly has did Catfish, I'm pretty sure, because he mirrored. That's when he did like the into Waterfall Fairy.
But I don't think he did Pyramid because I think he current jumped.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He absolutely did current jump. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think Matt also skipped Life Size Up based on how fast he had finished the dungeon. So, and again, these are good decisions on Matt. Certainly has not. He will not be punished. So, provided he does not go back in. We do not have Aghanim done, so we are just going to do the traditional bomb route. Maybe it looks like Skelly is going to do the bomb. We are going to walk, dash, it. All fine. Matt is not going to do Pyramid Fairy. He's going to go finish up Pod.
Clear Mouse, I'm being harassed by a dungeon in chat.
By a dungeon? Oh, no. We... The only dungeon that's allowed to harass you, Wall Kicks, is Eastern, okay? Swamp Palace is not allowed.
Oh, good shovel. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Surely it'll just be right here. It will be $20 more. Okay, well, so Skelly is, he is trying to get back to his roots, okay? He found so many 300s earlier, he was trying to find this, like, economy, money sink, and even though Zora couldn't even help him, so he figured he would dial his, his earnings back.
Oh, look where we're mirroring! It's everybody's favorite spot to mirror now.
You don't bonk, I mean, once you learn something, it works, right? Alright, look at this. Gold sword go to work. Gold sword on gold ball and chain. I think that's how it should be.
I do very much enjoy, like, that we're so, like, learning small time saves, small, like, I'm blanking on the correct word, but...
Optimizations?
Thank you. I knew it ended with a zation, and I'm like, I can't think of the front half of that word.
It's one of those. It's one of those words. It's okay. I'm sure you guys should probably just string together some random set of letters, and it would probably still make sense. All right. Okay. Skelly has picked up his 2, castle tower things. Okay. We're gonna check the shovel. Right.
We're gonna check the shovel. Yeah.
Yeah. Skelly. I mean, as you kind of said before, Skelly has been super thorough. I think the only thing he hasn't done at this point is purple chest, right?
I mean, yeah, we're getting to the point where there's really nothing else it can be. Like, Spy Cave isn't even in logic yet, so like, look, it's the Eastern Big Key.
Oh, it is the Eastern Big Key. Ooh, okay. When does Matt go check Pyramid?
I would imagine this is going to be probably his first play after Pod, because Pyramid Fairy is pretty top of mind at this point.
I think so I guess, like, if you're going to do Pyramid Fairy, so he specifically mirrored away, right, to go do Pod, and I guess, like, if the Eastern Palace Bicky is on Helma, then yeah, it was a good decision. I don't know.
Yeah, it's more of a can I skirt around the Pyramid Fairy play and hopefully luck out into a Eastern Palace Big on Helma.
Oh,
So,
I guess you know what. Actually, you know what. You're right. Like Matt, again, he needs to cut, many corners at this point. So yeah, I think this actually is very reasonable from him.
And like the unfortunate part of what's going to happen here is that he's going to check for Pyramid Fairy. He's going to get Shovel. He's probably going to go up to Catfish and Mirror and do the Zora checks as well because he hasn't done those.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I guess and Pyramid especially, like that's. I mean, not that it's ever a great time to go to the Pyramid, but again, it's been available like so. It's been available since
hard.
Like, so early, right?
It's the Pyramid Ledge can be a difficult or it can be a difficult check to think to yourself when is a good time to get it, because you obviously in an ideal situation want to do it when you combo it with Pyramid Fairy, but sometimes that doesn't happen. It happened in the seed, or at least it happened in the seed. But like Matt knew the 5-6 crystals were Meyer TR. That would almost, at least for me, push me towards Pyramid maybe a little bit earlier, because like at that point, doing Meyer, doing Turtle Rock, I'm probably very close to go mode in that situation, and so it's very unlikely that Pyramid Fairy is going to have anything. But the Pyramid Ledge is a lot more shallow in terms of logical, logical chain, so.
As you said, it's like a much earlier sphere, right? So then maybe you're kind of, it gets lower priority the longer your time goes, right? I was gonna say, like, when you play open seeds, right? One, not necessarily like controversial location, but some people like to skip the front escape, right? It's your fourth pendant dungeon. You don't necessarily need it, but if something is there and it's important, and maybe it's like Samari or something where it's like a late game item, and the longer you put that thing off, right? The chance that you going back there, in a timely manner is just diminishes drastically.
Exactly. So that's 7 crystals now for Skelly. Did pick up the Cane of Burna, which is our first invincibility item. Thus gives us access logically to Spy Cave.
But I think no,
we're gonna get immediately dead rocked.
Yeah. Where's Powder? Yeah, Skelly. It's okay. It's okay. But Skelly is he's trying to take the high ground. Yeah, both morally and physically, here up the mountain, and he's just getting, bouldered everywhere he goes. Yeah, but I think you're right though. Like, this, as you said, like Matt, his path right now, especially with the Zora area kind of still open, it is, while it, Zora itself has been probably in logic since he got the glove, right, which is super early, but it is very dense. So
yeah. To answer a question in chat, the entrance that was just hanging out on the side of the pyramid, I'm assuming you're talking about the graphical bug that you see. If you blow up the big bomb, I think off screen, it kind of makes a little appearance.
Yeah, it's purely cosmetic. Definitely don't worry about it.
You if you try to go into it, you will not succeed.
Yeah.
At least I don't think so. Let me put a
maybe.
I'm not 100% certain on that. That'd be very interesting. But
maybe we can get like an HMG runner or like a Glitch runner to confirm for us. All right, Skelly, remember to put away his sword before GT. Yeah, we are just looking for the GT, the Thieves Town Big Key on Skelly's side. So presumably it'll be somewhere here in the basement. I'm just trying to think of any location besides Purple Chest that Skelly has not been to here. That's not in GT, and
Purple Chest and Spy Cave essentially.
Oh, Spy Cave, and then Skull Pig, right? That's
Hera Basement.
Oh, Hera Basement. Okay, all right, yeah. Okay,
but
terrible locations. Yes.
Yeah, you would immediately knock out Hera Basement and Spy Cave because you're right here.
Oh, right. That does make a lot of sense.
And then it's pretty easy to route in Skull Big into Purple Chest.
Oh yeah. You can do Skull. Yeah, that's true. They might feel a little silly for what it's worth if they, go all this way, entire GT basement, and then they just maybe find it in Skull Big. However, though, again, GT is just so dense, and this is, especially in this case, if you think your opponent is going to go to GT as well, given this, like, I mean, you're basically like worst case, let's just say you're even, right?
Like, I would honestly, I think the Thieves Town Big Key is going to be in like stealth in this room.
Oh, based on like, the
keys.
small key? Okay. Yeah, because I guess like I guess we have all the minor keys now. Okay. All right. Matt is gonna go and pick up his Eastern Palace big key right now. Not before alerting everybody of his presence. That is exactly how Matt operates. You know, he's got his posse. You know, announcing his presence everywhere he goes.
Interesting.
Hopefully we'll see him all in SGL, and so then you can kind of get the the presence of Matt right in the room.
Oh no, there's just our fourth GT. There's just our fourth GT key in here. All right, game.
Great. I love seeing GT small keys. Hey, look, we found the Compass GT too. I guess it couldn't really be that many other places.
Because in my head, I'm like, oh, it's entirely reasonable to maybe expect the fourth GT key to maybe be in Thieves Town, but no, it was just in GT to put the rest of GT.
Yeah, in logic. Wall kick. Speaking of, so did you know that in non-entrance keys, you need the map and the compass to that dungeon in order to go beat it?
I don't like that logical aspect of it, but I am aware that it exists.
Oh no, Skelly. Oh no. Does he not have the blue? Oh, the blue boomerang was in Bumper Ledge, right? So we couldn't even actually get that, even if he wanted. Okay. I was like, why doesn't he just use something that's more, I don't know, traditional? But looks like we don't even have that option.
Why not just use the green boomerang?
Do we have a green boomerang? Is that when the red and blue boomerang combine?
Yes.
You would think that might be purple though, right? Unless it's light.
Don't fact check me here.
Talking about colors, I just wanted to think about it. I don't know. What do you think about gold boots? Purple boots? Orange boots?
Gold boots are probably very heavy.
Yeah, that's also probably true. The rest are probably, they seem, I think gold is also really malleable, right? That's Thieves Town big? Alright, we're out of here.
That is go mode. We are gone.
Yeah.
Shoutouts to getting that fourth TR or GT key, although I don't know, again, I don't know the logical implication of non-entrance GT keys and yada yada yada.
Yeah, but just looking at Skelly's progression throughout the scene, again, he definitely last located his glove in Ice Rock Cave, took quite a bit of time to get there, and somehow, made just like all of the right decisions, once he got to Dark World, because the glove was his Dark World access, and, once he just tore the seed apart.
Yeah, and it really just did come down to the fact that, Matt's early game was unfortunately a little too good, and that he got early Dark World access. Skelly's early game was bad, and unfortunately sometimes Rando is going to say, oh, you had a bad early game? That's exactly what we needed you to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and of course I certainly did. I guess exacerbate some issues from Matt, but also kind of amplify, Skelly's success. Was of course, going to Eastern Palace and Vanilla Big Chest, which is in logic. So we found a lamp pretty early, found the mirror, and then as Skelly found the mirror, right on the other side of the restream screen, we saw Matt spy boots on Spec Rock, right? So Skelly definitely got early boots. When he first saw it, probably was ecstatic. You're already feeling pretty good about finding that mirror in Eastern Palace, but just seeing the boots immediately afterwards is, a great feeling.
Yeah, and Skelly was able to basically parlay that into I can essentially full clear the seed, with the lead that he had picked up over time. Skelly might not feel 100% great about how the seed has gone, given that he was pretty late to the Eastern Big Key, and in his mind he might be thinking that that's something that Matt has, but he still has routed the seed very, very well. The fact is he's gonna be pushing around a 140 total time for doing pretty much everything pre-GT and even doing a lot of GT. It's his collection rate is probably going to be, I'd imagine, low to mid 180s. Which, given the time, is really good.
Oh no, right. You talk about actually Skelly is we're right 130, 30 some odd and change, but Skelly has essentially full clear of the game. We're 4 or 5 locations. He didn't pick up desert ledge item, right? So that won't necessarily go into the ultimate collection rate counter at this point. But he has actually done everything.
Yeah.
Very, very efficient full clear, on his side.
Agreed.
Okay. All right. So Matt, I think, does not have that last GT small key, right, from the cutscene chest in Meyer.
No, but
I don't.
He's got 2. He'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume in this case that it's not going to, affect, I guess, his decisions for GT. He knows also that Matt, he has already skipped a good number of. I mean, not a good number, right? But he has skipped Left Side Swamp. He has skipped Left Side Mire, right? And there are, of course, a handful of other locations that also Skelly has not seen. So, for all intents and purposes, right? That's where the 4th GT key is that has put all this in logic, which, he's absolutely correct on.
Yeah.
We found our last medallion.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think the only thing that it was right. It maybe is a little unfortunate for Skelly that one of the things that he has not done that we saw Matt do was purple chest. That did have silvers. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference.
I don't think so. I don't think so either. He might get a chuckle when he sees that Ganon says, "Did you find silvers?" Is what I think it says in Light World or something.
Oh yeah, I think purple chest is Light World, right? So it originates in the Dark World, but you turn it in the Light World. So where? I guess I never remember this.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't remember the last time also a tournament had hints on. Like, I know the entrance, like cross keys, I think used to have hints, right? And then, but I think the last 2 or 3 years, maybe even.
Sounds
like
about right.
There was, like cross keys didn't have, they didn't have hints anymore. All right, we got the pedestal pull, and yes, imagine Skelly blind pulling, not reading, which is the correct thing to do, by the way, with repentance, but. Nobody's surprised.
Wait a minute. Hold on a sec. You just tried to slide that in there without thinking that I wasn't going to say something about that. It is the wrong thing to do.
Excuse me, wall kicks. All right, we have already established, certain things. All right, Matt needs to hit the switch first. All right, it's okay. We're almost there. We're almost at Thieves Town Big Key. And yes, for those of you who may not have seen, other AAD keys mode, this is the whole, the same mode for the entire week of League, and all the runners know as part of this mode is that the GT Big Key is always on the pedestal. So there is no reason to read this during a tournament race. If you would like to see what is on the text, feel free to, do an offline one. Or if you would like to, be nice to the viewers, we could certainly be, appreciative of you showing us the text.
Yes.
But only if you don't have the penance, okay?
See, look, all I'm going to say is that when you win a race by like 7-8 seconds because you read the pedestal and then walked away while your opponent blindfolded it for the quote unquote memes, I will take the win. Thank you.
Simply play better. Save another.
Dang. All right.
Got him. That's right.
All right. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm Clear Mouse. I'm gonna let you take over and have fun with the rest of this. And yeah.
I mean, aren't I technically correct? That's kind of correct.
Look, we don't need to get into specifics here. All right. This is...
Wall kicks, weren't you on a team called OP Got Good?
Okay, look, we don't need to, that was like 20 seasons ago.
Oh,
we don't need to talk.
Okay,
we don't need to talk about how that season went. Clear Mouse, we're here talking about Skelly and Matt. How are we?
Right. You're right. Skelly, by the way, so Skelly, I think, has been, I'm trying to actually think how many other Invitational Leagues seasons he's been in. He's actually been in, I want to say at least a couple. But I mean, obviously, he is like a very, very talented runner, right? And of course, I think this year, teaming up with his current team certainly is quite the powerhouse team to be together.
And like this will inevitably give Pugs their first loss and move Bratwurst buddies into what I think 1 game behind.
Oh yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think Andy had already played. Yeah, Andy had played Mr. Ed earlier this week, right? And then in this case, Tato was the one who sat out. Yeah, but I mean, well, I think Tato has also been on multiple invitational teams, and of course, Mr. Ed, the horse, has been, I think, doing non-stop rando stuff for the last, I don't know how many years. Certainly, I would say certainly more recent addition probably to the community, but he has certainly made quite the splash.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like both teams are really good and all really good people as well.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, and again, these are, the people, the kind of people that, you enjoy, rooting for, right? Of course, Matt's team, you know, may have an unknown player here that they're actually not unknown. Is Dante, who is a former league champion, former main tournament champion. Andy, I believe, also is a former main tournament champion, multiple ones.
Yeah.
I don't think he has a league title, but he has like a million other titles. So
Matt has an SG Live title, like
he does. He does have an SG Live with boots. He has so he also won the NMG League Season 4.
There you go.
Beat out. So I think he beat out Relkin, Gem, and Airy in Vanilla Preset for Rando. Which,
jeez.
Yeah, I know, right? Like those are the people that you had to go beat in order to get your title. That's yeah, it's not something that us mere mortals can, you know, probably think about.
Definitely not something I can do with my 2 NMG runs like ever.
You could have a third. I'm just saying. Hey, look, we found a cape.
Hey, we found a cape.
Yeah.
Hooray! I think that's like all of our items. I think collectively we have found all the items.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, because we saw the blue boomerang on Bumper Ledge, and of course we just saw the cape here. Skelly's looking for silver.
Yeah, Skelly's looking for silver. Because like I'm about to be like, what is Skelly still looking for?
Exactly.
Like, oh yeah,
that elusive 18th heart, you know. I'm not sure if Skelly can pull off this victory if he doesn't have that asymmetrical heart counter at the top.
Yeah. All right, Matt. Now with all their dungeons done, gonna go get the GT big key, but we'll be probably a little too late.
Yeah, right. I mean, so like at this point, I think Skelly's probably already just starting his Aga 2 fight at this point, and Matt still has to climb the mountain, and then of course climb GT itself, which is a good number of minutes. I won't actually, you know, say how many minutes because math is your department. You know, I'm just the coloring person.
Yes, it is. It is yes number of minutes.
Yes. Yeah. But at this point, right, I think something pretty terrible would have to befall Skelly for Matt to, I guess, have a reasonable chance of taking the victory. But you know what? As we just come back to Skelly, he is already done with Aga 2. He did not use the cape.
That was such a good Aga 2 that we didn't see
it was, you know, and he didn't even need the cape, right? We have a completely full magic bar. Okay, but yeah, we just are one Ganon fight away from Skelly. You know, again, he does not have a silver arrow, so phase 4 is going to be delayed just by a little bit, but in terms of the other ones, though... Okay, so Wallkicks, you are here fighting Ganon with 17 hearts, red mail, and sword beams. Would you just take, you know, would you do your red mail movement and walk into Ganon to get rid of the heartbeat, or to the sword beams?
Yes.
Okay, alright. That is the objective to the right thing to do, by the way.
What?
Skelly. I don't know. Every once in a while, like, I don't know, like the sword beam sound can be a little bit abrasive on the ear.
Like my brain was like processing it, just like, nope, not working. Nope. Nice try.
Yeah, well, we're almost there. As soon as, you know, so Ganon, I guess, doesn't have a bedtime apparently, so he's just gonna, you know, just act like the, I don't know, like the toddler or something, that he just want to extend bedtime. But we're almost there.
Oh, yeah.
We're almost there. Oh, okay, it is dark. Okay, so I think, yeah, Jesse said it earlier too.
Yeah. Which is funny because I think that still is only. Oh no, I don't think Skelly did Graveyard Ledge, so which I think
I want to
is
say he did, didn't he?
Oh, okay. Well, then it might be his only Dark World check as well.
Okay. Yeah, that's good, right? Because he did the normal Skullwoods route, right? The expected one, and then after he was able to get out of Skullwoods, he just went to go New North Dark World.
Nice phase 4.
Yeah, we're definitely going through the motions. But you know, okay, so right. So while we do kind of take this, you know, this fight somewhat, hopefully not for granted, you know, because it's just a Skelly and maybe Matt. I mean, if he gets there eventually, it's just you know, they've been practiced with this fight so often that it just looks, you know, routine to them at this point, right?
Yeah.
Certainly, still does take practice, and certainly don't want to, you know, discredit either, you know, Matt or Skelly. But of course, for Skelly, get your G's in chat. He is going to take the victory from himself and Matt and put a victory for this week. Gonna have the series tied 1-1.
Yeah.
Big GG's, played well.
And this is a final time for Skelly of 141.58. ignore the time on his screen. That is incorrect. No, I'm just fine.
Did you do any math to say that the time was incorrect?
No, I just...
How incorrect is it? Well, yes is incorrect? Okay.
Yes is incorrect. Look, it just... In my head, I'm reminded of like a cross keys match that Zelga had where he finished with like a 2-hour, like, on the dot or something. And then... But his timer and race time were off by like a second. He was mad at that. We're joined, by the way, by Skelly. Hello, Skelly. GG's.
Yo, Skelly. GG's.
Thanks.
Well played.
Yeah, I mean, this seed, I think the seed probably didn't start well for you, kind of just how you last located your glove, but it ended up being a blessing because it got you into Eastern for your mirror.
Yeah, I was kind of ticked off about having to go like to each corner of the light world twice, basically. But I had a feeling that the mirror might be important, and honestly, it felt like as soon as I got the glove, I was god routing Crypt Theron. So
yeah, I would say so. And like, it really just let you build up a lead that you really just weren't going to relinquish.
Yeah, I mean, like after I got Dark World access, it felt like there were 2 big choices. I could just go do like regular Dark World stuff. Well, I guess even then, that's kind of 2 separate choices in itself because you can go like north or south. But I could also go to DM. And DM clearly was the right choice because that's where the boots were. So that felt nice. And then I stumbled on the mitts soon after that, and I was like, oh, I needed the mirror for this. And someone could potentially be really late to the mirror if they routed the opening like normally.
Yeah.
So I had a feeling I might have been really ahead.
Yeah, and that kind of played out kind of throughout. I think the only moment that we felt like, oh, this race might have swung was that Matt got the first bow on purple chest. And we're like, oh, that's not something that you're gonna get to anytime soon. But then I think like less than a minute later, you picked up your bow in Meyer's Shed, and that kind of just made everything moot.
Oh yeah, purple chest was like probably gonna be a last location.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, eventually, like I also orphaned lava chest, so that would have been first. But like there was no good way for me to route in purple chest at the time I got the mitts, so I was like, whatever, I'll just leave this forever.
Yeah. And like the 4th TR key was even bow locked, so like that wouldn't have been an option anyways.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think also like when you ended up picking up the mirror, like basically like right alongside, we saw Matt was on Death Mountain and he saw the boots. We're like, oh my gosh, when Skelly goes up here. So I think that's when like, then you went back and gave you your hook shot, and then it's like, oh yeah, he's going. So I think, yeah. So you're like.
So I was thinking like, as soon as I got the glove, I was like, I should probably try to press this mirror advantage if there is one. And I was like, okay, so mirror lets me do DM because I can mirror up to Tower Para, use the hammer, go right. But then, like, I checked back of escape, I got hook shot, and I was like, oh, this puts DM in logic anyway, so DM isn't really a mirror play. But I forgot, you need the mirror for the boots, so yeah, that is nice.
Yeah.
And again, that led you just build up that lead that just never went away. And then you were very thorough, kind of. I know you talk about god routing, but like you did both you did both checks on left side mire, you did left side swamp, you did IC, like you did a lot of the things that maybe someone who might not feel great about the seed would normally skip. So I imagine you were probably thinking you were okay kind of throughout the seed that you did those checks.
Yeah, for sure. Like especially for left side swamp, I was like, I can probably spend 2 minutes doing this here, I think. Especially because like there wasn't that much left after that where the Eastern Big Key could have been. But I mean, there was an option to just like, okay, maybe pretend that Eastern Big Key's my go mode and assume that Thieves Town Big Key is just in GT, which it was.
Yeah.
You could play it like that, and then like, oh, what if you find Eastern Big Key in the back of Swamp, then you could skip left side.
Yeah. Real quick though, Matt holding up his sword, get GG's in chat for Matt. We'll be finishing this race with an official time exactly 5 minutes after Skelly with a 1:46.58.
Yeah, big GG's to Matt, and he executed quite well. But again, sometimes like the seed doesn't, because the seed can certainly favor one runner's route to another, just based on where the items are. And yeah, kind of as you said, like the Eastern Palace mirror was really, really beneficial for me. Just kind of led basically, led to the boots, it led to the myths, it led to and then of course the rest of your amazing routing right throughout Dark Worlds. And Matt was really trying to like cut some corners in order to try and make up time, which I think he did. He ended up making a good number of skips that were not necessary, but ultimately wasn't enough. Speaking of though, we are joined by Matt. GG's.
Hello, GG's.
GG's.
Sorry about the boots, man.
Yeah, I mean, I never beat the route that gets mirror before Dark World.
Yeah,
it just doesn't happen in the seed.
And like I think it's a little unfortunate, Howard, tonight, because Skelly, like you can tell me if I'm wrong, but like I'd imagine if you had a bomb still after Mini Moldarm Cave, you would have gone over to Ice Rock Cave.
Yes, 100%.
So
that's the plan.
Like it you would have had Dark World access, so you probably then don't go into Eastern for a little while, and this race becomes suddenly much closer. It's weird how something small like that ended up being such a big determining factor, not in the way that we thought it would be, but just like kind of just how this one turned out.
Yeah, I like kind of got in that position that you get into 40 minutes into every AD key seed, where you have like 4 options that are like okay, but not great. It was like, do I go to Thieves, Skull, and able to beat Skull? Do I take my 5 keys to Pod? Do I go to Hospital at Eastern? Or do I go like do some, I forget what my other option was, and I was like, oh, I'm going to do these in this order. Yeah. And then going to Hospital at Eastern was the last thing. And ironically, the only thing that I didn't really do was go to Pyramid Catfish, which actually had my shovel, which ended up having my kind of quasi GT go mode, which was the Eastern Big Key. And so I was like, when the Eastern Big Key was on the shovel, I was like, oh man, I've made basically the perfect incorrect order for doing this seed-in. was kind of how I felt about that.
That was actually both of your guys' GT modes was getting the shovel that led to the Eastern Big.
Yeah, kind of the funny thing is that knowing that the mirror locks the boots makes you really not want to go to the pyramid, because like, oh, if I get the mirror, I can do Castle Tower with this. Not only that, I can run there, and then if I go to Catfish, I can do the Zora area. You know what I mean? It's just like I was never even thinking about going there.
That's unfortunate.
How about that Skullwoods key layout, huh?
Yeah, that was very annoying. But I guess it didn't really make that much of a difference. Like, oh, Desert was my other option when I was deciding what to do there, and I was like, do I go to Desert because I know the boots aren't in Desert, or do I go like Thieves Skull and then maybe I can route in the Green Pendant with something? I didn't really know what the correct order. I mean, ultimately in this seed it wouldn't have mattered, but what exactly to do there.
Yeah, I think you were just given impossible choices essentially, and this is just one of those seeds where you used to say rando unfortunately sometimes gets you. But yeah. I mean, you still played it really well.
I knew I was behind. I probably should have been even more aggressive in the kind of late game. But like with Left Side Swamp, like I was never gonna go to Left Side Swamp before Pod, because that 6th Pod key had only recently come in Logic, and you don't really want to go to Pod without the Eastern Big Key. But yeah, it was kind of an interesting seed. It was kind of unfortunate that kind of one early on decision proved to be such an advantage. But like, I don't know. I knew this was going to be a tough matchup either way. Like, Skelly and I raced in one of the AD Keys tourneys. I remember he beat me, and I remember watching his perspective back a little bit and thinking like, oh, he just played the seed better than me. Like, and so coming to this race, I was like, okay, I gotta like, play this fairly aggressively, I think.
Yeah, I just feel kind of bad because honestly, it was a mistake that led me onto the God route in the first place.
The funny thing is
that
it
feels a little undeserved.
Is that I used my last bomb on Ice Rod Cave, and I was like, oh no, I can't go to the back of this cave. I have to do like Bomb Shot into Hype Cave. And if I had one less bomb, I probably would have done exactly what you did, which is interesting.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call it a mistake either. It just Mini Moldarms were just being rude. Like that's not a mistake more than just unfortunate circumstance.
Yeah, and so Matt his opening was Uncle, and he found a sword, so he was like not worried about Mini Moldarms at all. which is I think part of like maybe like the difference was. I mean, you went into I think 8 bombs in Mini Moldorm, which is normally I would say more or less like safe-ish number to go into, but yeah, they don't have to cooperate with you at all. So
Yeah.
no, but definitely it was a really fun race, very exciting. But so thank you guys so much for racing. So I think this is game 2, right, of the series, because Andy and Mr. Ed raced earlier this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess like next week is pilot spoiler. Thoughts about the mode?
Well, I'm glad.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have to take my beating from Dante for losing this match first, but then we'll get down to some pilot spoiler practice.
Yeah.
So what is he piloting you? You piloting him?
No, he's piloting me, so I gotta be extra nice to him so he can get me some work.
Skip that heart container. We're behind. It's in chest cave. No, we don't need it. It's okay. Yeah, should be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm also really glad the pilot spoiler is back. It's one of certainly a personal favorite. I think it's also very big. Is a big fan favorite as well. So I think Skelly, like, are you? So I assume you're playing next week then?
I'm piloting both of them.
Okay, that should be fun.
Because neither of them, like, when we formed our team, both of them had like one condition, and that was they are not going to pilot.
Oh wow!
That means I have to do both of them,
see.
which I don't mind. But yeah.
Okay. I guess have you done any like piloting in the past, like either like by yourself or like for actual pilot spoiler?
I think I piloted. Actually, no, I don't think I ever have piloted, but I play a decent amount of spoiler on my own, so I feel like
okay. So yeah, you're
there.
pretty so you're pretty comfortable with the log then.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like the first 5 minutes when they're already playing and I'm still reading. That's gonna be a little bit stressful, I think. I'm not really used to that, but otherwise I feel pretty good about it, I think.
No, sounds good. So I don't have the schedule in front of me, but do you know who you're playing next week?
We are playing a team with a German name that I can't pronounce.
Motivation?
Yes.
Like Phase? Okay. Oh right, yeah, the Faker Junior team. Yeah, it's Phase, name Faker Junior. That's our Faker Junior. So
yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So mostly European, I think, for the most part. So okay. Well, so certainly best of luck. I hope the scheduling works out just as well. Sometimes time zones can make things weird. And then for Matt, do you know who you guys are playing?
Playing the other German team. Team Hime, is that how you're pronouncing it?
Oh, yeah. So it's Ravis, not Dragon. A 2C and... Kermit, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
A lot of Europeans in this division. I guess I'm technically a European because they signed up with Area, not me. So I guess that kind of makes sense.
Okay. All right. We'll see the PBR bottle on the pen when you're spinning it. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. No, so there should be some great matchups next week, and yeah, like I'm actually really pretty like cool to see all the international influx. I think even in the open league division, like there's a whole division of like I think just Germans, maybe like some stragglers here and like a couple here and there that are, but it was so I don't know. I think it's really cool to see. But yeah, best of luck certainly to both of you and in next week for to your respective teams as well, and of course above all, have fun. And thank you guys so much again for the race tonight.
Thanks for the restream.
Thanks for the commentary.
All right, so I want to thank so much, Sammy. Amazing as always. Thank you so much for tracking. Always a pleasure to have you around. Being ever accurate, force 80 AAD keys. Excuse me. Even here, especially for Skelly, you literally picked up everything. So, thank you so much, Sammy. Always happy. And then of course, Walt Kicks. Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you. It's always fun. Always appreciated. And yeah, shout outs to our runners. Shout outs to our trackers. Shout outs to my co-commentator. And yeah, I think that's going to be it for me. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, so actually in terms of right now, if we all go over to SpeedGaming 2, in about 3 minutes, it is the Cloud versus the Bugnet, or Gamma. Is he known the Bugnet? Is that him? Anyway, so this Days Cloud versus Gamma Chew should be also one heck of a match, commentated by Jarossi and Rick, so also should be very entertaining as well. And then of course for those of you early birds or very late night morning people, there is also Korek versus Red Kisune at 5 a.m. on SpeedGaming, so that should be a fun time. And then of course plenty of other random matches later on that afternoon. So until then, have a great rest of your evening / morning, and then see you all soon.